and calibrating. So we're going to make sure that we're tapping into our empathetic energy so that we can expand our consciousness a little bit. Expanding our consciousness within high vibrational energy is super important so that we can tap into high vibrational energy and tap out of low vibrational energy. So we're going to tap into Empath's Oracle first so that we can see what's going on with our energy frequency as humans, our overall collective consciousness. So this is actually where collective general messages come from, and whatnot. So choosing experiences wisely, the collective frequency right now. And then these are all in reverse. So these are the low vibrational energies that we're tapping out of. So that is hating self-hate energy, alchemizing confusion to clarity. So that's stewing in confusion energy, healing with Mother Nature energy in reverse. So it would be idolizing false, reverences, worshiping false idols energy, experiencing a reality of change. So boredom as well. So basically, lack of innovation is being surrendered. All that awful, dark, low vibrational energy is being removed. Whereas choosing high but experiences wisely is being ascended. So we're ascending with choosing experiences wisely and removing entities that may be trying to contort themselves in as if to latch onto us. This is an individual journey for everyone, trusting in destiny. Yeah, so definitely the energy that was attempted to be siphoned off of the trust destiny, which would be faith, right? So faith, hope, okay, confronting inner demons, as you can see. There's energies of people wanting us to confront their inner demons as being rebuked. Okay, meditating and reflecting, as you can see, they were already projecting the manifestation of what you call it, meditating and reflecting. So somebody is like basically trying to be like, oh, they're gonna reflect on, meditate and on their, crimes in the future type shit. But there was never going to be any crimes in the future or anything terrible that was supposed to happen in the future for us in the collective. They wanted us to manifest it for in their behalf type shit, and now they don't have behalf, right? That's it. So now behalf is taken away from those individuals. Okay, so from those people who worship those entities, those individuals who thought that they were so fucking smart, so fucking wise, so fucking abusive is what they are. They thought that it was going to be okay to utilize whatever it is that they thought was a weapon to sustain whatever behalf that they thought that they could get, right? Exactly. So we're gonna do some little bit of research, a tiny bit of research really quickly when it comes to this energy so that I can work through it properly. So let's see. This is about time for there to be an evolution for the collective. And they don't want this happening. Oh, that's so annoying. I just can't stand when they do that shit. Yo. One second. People is fucking with the Wi-Fi again. Let's see. What's it called again? You see? You see what I'm talking about now? For the sake or benefit, advantage, interest of someone by his side. So they always wanted to make it where beside a certain situation. They wanted to, so those individuals wanted to make it seem as if that they were beside a situation, or as if that they had some sort of permission to be beside some sort of situation. Yeah, see what I'm saying? It's a lot of that. So now we're clearing that energy because that's a big blockage, because they wanted to be the blockage, right? So they wouldn't happen to feel bad if, you know what I mean, the angels absolutely decimate them. Now, would they? They wouldn't mind, right? If we all just decimate them, like, you know what I mean? That wouldn't be, you know what I mean, like illegal or anything. So that's what's going on right now. They're being decimated. And so what is being decimated right now? Okay, what is being decimated right now? So they wanted to, remember, murder. You see, they're a murderer. Okay, so killing those not intended to be harmed at all, unjust killing, right? Exodus 20:13, Matthew 5:21, 22, Surah 5:32, 5:45, first body evil. So these types of people, like for example, the neighbor, the bitch ass, like awful fucking horror show of a fucking whore of a neighbor, right, that was across from me that wanted me to kill myself, is trying to like ignore the fact that what she was trying to commit to was murder. Like that's not what she's trying to accept in her life, but now it's too late, because a murderer is a murderer is a murderer. That's just what it is. They want to be a murderer, and now they're being seen by the divine as a murderer. So they're not getting shit. Yeah, because they wanted to put pressure for people to survive their murder, not recognizing that it was going to cause an economic showdown. And they were trying to use that as leverage so that they would be able to buy and sell people's resilience, which is what they were recording me for when I was at the top of the roof type shit. So they wanted to buy and sell snuff films for murders that they wanted to cause. And then they also wanted to act as if that was like normal. That's just cultural, right? So now they were the reason why the recessionary market was the way that it is, but now it's being overturned, right? Because there's a resilience that overturned, right? So the real market was the oversupplied market that was being introduced to the realm of existence when it comes to overturning the recessionary market. Why? Because there was wisdom learned, right? So this has to preserved value. So there's real preserved value that's coming into the horizon, right? So that they would never be a part of any kind of market, and the whole thing is being destroyed and disrupted and decimated. So it's being brought down. So the energy that they were originally in, which that they thought was the same market that they were actually entering, which was not the market that they were supposed to even be around or attempt to manifest, is some fit false ass energy that they were trying to manifest against faith, right? Veil weaver persona keeps personal motives obscured behind constant distractions. So they do distracting things and cause distractions for other people, or they were trying to make it seem as if that they weren't trying to do that, right? So then they would be able to cause ingrate energy for other people around them, right? So grudges to deny joy, hope, and totality, attempts to conduct resentment, trying to make people hold grudges against them so that they would be able to be like, well, that's why they were killed type shit, when in reality of the situation they were actually planning all of this so that they could murder people, quite literally. So it's basically like they're going around making people feel dumb, act dumb, feel silly, do shitty stuff to themselves so that they would actually go ahead and slowly kill them. Basically, that's what they get off on. They laugh every day about it, talking about some, oh, I'll never be killed. I'm still here. They do that all the time. Why? Because they think that they're getting away with murder, quite literally. Slow possession over somebody else's mentality, identity, ideations, planning, so on and so forth, in order to quite literally kill them by using their wisdom against them. In great energy wouldn't work, right? Why? Because there's wisdom in the market, you see. In great energy is a lack of wisdom in the energy, right? Attempts to conduct resentment. They want to be able to control resentment. So it's kind of like Seth. You know what I mean? So Seth is actually one of like the energies that we already like. There's a here in America, but what they didn't recognize, actually, no, is the same resentment, is the same set, right? But they didn't overcome that. We did. We know what it is to overcome that resentment, right? So they didn't, and they're trying to act as if that they had or will enter market by murder, recessionary, whatever the fuck that old news is, right? Old fucking news. Deuteronomy 8:11 through 14, 2 Timothy 3:2, Surah 14:7, 3 of mind. So what they didn't recognize and realize was that everybody could see their false shepherd persona, that they wanted to lead others into danger under the guise of protection, acting like, oh my gosh, I'm such a sweet person. I just really want to be there for you, you know? You know, man, like I just really want to be there for you. Like, come on, girl. Like, nigga, come on. Like, I'm like always here. Like, you know me type shit. Like, you know, I'll always be down for some shit, nigga. Like, I'll always be down for you, right? That's her. That's them. Isn't that them? So, they didn't want to be what you call it, what it is that they destroyed already. The market that they already destroyed was the seasonal market, right? So they actually failed to adapt to cyclical demand. So they couldn't adapt to cyclical demand. They were never reliable, which is the merit that you get from adapting to a cyclical market, right? And they can't serve with excellence. So it's like if they were put inside the jurisdiction of a cyclical market, they would go ahead and start committing fraud type shit. They would go ahead and start doing like they'll sleep on the job type shit. Like they'll fuck around and fuck a nigga on the job type shit. They'll go and be a prostitute on the same job that they were given that they didn't have to be a prostitute in. So they kind of literally killed the market, which is the first murder that they committed. So basically, it's their fault. It's their fault why people don't have job security, especially here. It's their fault why people can't construct themselves with diligence. Like, so if someone is not trying to be in the hood, if you're trying to get out the hood, get out the ghetto, right? Get out like whatever situation, want to rebuild, give the community what it is, da 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 da. They're the ones that are being the op, quite literally, because they want to fuck on the job type shit. Excuse me, basically, right? So the real market, like I said, remember when I was telling you guys about how they really wanted me to feel the pressure so that I would do the same shit that they were trying to do type shit, which was taking the bribes and da 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 da, right? Here it is, pressure for adaptation when the regulations are removed. And that was the false ass market that they wanted to create at the same time, quite literally. So through a deregulated market, so like false growth in a situation, right? So basically, it's like they're doing one job, but then they're also prostituting in the same job, and then they wanna like then the reputation of the job goes down, right? So it's literally dying. The job security is dying, and then they're acting like well, like they got all this money, right, from their job, when it's actually two or three jobs that they're doing on the job, which is fucking prostituting, probably selling shit, right, doing some fuck ass shit. Like it's just really stupid what they're doing, right? And like prostituting doesn't only mean that they're getting money from fucking, right? They're also like flirting with people for resources type shit. Like that's a huge thing that they do, which kills the job market security, right? They don't, then they want to act like, oh, it's just so hard to keep your job in this market. Oh, it's so hard to keep your job, da 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 da, right? So that's how they wanted people to compete with them for job security. But then they didn't want to accept the fact that they, what do you call it, that they're gonna get caught. They didn't want to accept the fact that they were gonna get caught. Yeah. So oppressor in reverse, sorcerer in reverse, all going in reverse. Yeah, poison chalice offers gifts that carry hidden costs and damages. So they're the type of motherfucker to like seduce the boss type shit, fuck him, and then start causing like issues in the job and trying to act like, well, I'm gonna tell everyone that we fucked, and I'm gonna tell everyone that you give me free housing, and I'm gonna tell everyone that for sex, and then it's you. But what they don't understand, that's bribing. That's also blackmailing, which is illegal. So even if the person that like is embarrassed that they had sex with them in order to keep their housing type shit, like they could easily sue the bitch because she's blackmailing, right? It's really that easy. The hidden danger and costs and stuff like that that's being revealed is actually what they're trying to avoid by trying to cause a displacement of those things and putting it onto somebody else as a burden, quite literally. So that's through an undersupplied market. So echo persona poison chalice, that's how they were trying to poison, right? What they were really scared of, hidden costs and damages, right? Was that other people were going to repeat their falsified ideas of original ideas, and then they were the other people that were going to try and steal it from them, as if that they were going to pretend like, so basically they were scared that other people were going to take from them their original ideas, but the ideas that they're trying to call original are stolen ideas anyways. So it's really like they were continuing a cycle, a loop of stealing other people's ideas and then being scared that other people are going to steal their ideas, which is a karmic fucking hell loop, kind of seriously. So it's a huge thing. Like they were trying to act like they weren't scared. They were trying to act like they either didn't come up with any unoriginal ideas. That's what it is. So they're trying to act like all their ideas were original, but they don't want to actually expose how they received them because they were trying to act as if that they were scared that other people were going to use the same resource in order to act as if that those ideas were their own when it wasn't, type shit. It's, oh, this is so fucking typical, bruh. Do you know how many artists have been through this shit, bruh? This is one of the most annoying bullshit ever. It's like one of the bullshit Instagram artists, right? It's like that kind of energy. It's like a bullshit Instagram artist that steals other people's paintings, and then they act as if like, oh, like I don't want to show you guys a tutorial on how to draw it because if I show you a tutorial, you might copy my idea and then post the tutorial. Da, 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 da. When the reality is that they're the ones stealing it, right? Like it's that type bullshit. It's like more than gaslighting type shit. I can't explain what the fuck that is. I'm gonna ask actually. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, plagiarism, gaslighting, preemptive victimhood, exclusivity, manipulation. Yeah, plagiarism hidden under false victimhood, basically. There it is. Plagiarism hidden under false victimhood. That's basically what it is. Sympathy theft, false origin syndrome. Yeah, victim's cloak, preemptive plagiarism, sympathy theft. Didn't I say sympathy? Sympathy theft. So literally, it's like I'm where we are going through something that they're doing to us, and then they want to act like it's them that's supposed to receive it, right? That's what half the people here are doing. That's what I'm trying to say. Sympathy theft. So now it's being uncovered, right? Now it's being uncovered, the sympathy theft. Yeah, as the demonic essence and energy that it is. Gossiper, mischievous gossiper energy. So it's infertile, demonic infertility. So basically, it's like the child of Lilith energy, right? Demonic infertility. Trying to see, covers truth with obvious blind spots, so it's confusing to uncover, right? Grave digger persona is being uncovered. We already uncovered that before. Cloak and dagger persona, right, has already been uncovered before. And chain switcher, so this is the other one. Chain switcher replaces one dependency with another, so the control never ends. So it's like the obvious blind spots, they make people dependent on the obvious blind spots, right? Yeah, diviner, there it is. Finally, exhibiting hysteria to declare distraction. That's literally what they did the other day. They were literally screaming outside. They were literally screaming outside, like, come at me, come at me, come outside type shit. They were really doing that the other day. Clinging to false signs of confirmation, quite literally. Deuteronomy 18:10 through 12, Numbers 22:7, Ezekiel 21:21, Zechariah 10:2, Acts 16:16 through 18, Suda 590, 650, Antraveda 456, 10 evil acts for speech. Right. So what's being sent back to sender is the slanderer energy. So now everything, like, yeah, because people are now waking up. The general collective is now waking up to the same type of bitch ass motherfuckers, right? Sympathy thieves, right? That use you see, use the fact that they're stealing to make it seem as if that we are the ones making mistakes. You see what I'm saying? So rope holder sona keeps others tied to past mistakes or debts. So they act like we're indebted to them. That's why they stole type shit, but that's not how it works ever. That's not ever how it works, right? So backroom dealer in reverse is being sent back to sender, right? Truth filler persona is being sent back to sender, right? What you call it, curtain whisperer personas being sent back to sender, right? Demonic adulteress, adulteress boaster, right? That's where the boasting energy is coming from. So deceased spouses and wives, actual homewrecker, that's what they are. So this is it's funny because people didn't realize how many ways that they were utilizing, how many things that they were utilizing, how many weapons they were utilizing to break up marriages. But here it is. Exodus 20:14, Leviticus 20:10, Deuteronomy 22:22, Proverbs 6:24 through 29, Proverbs 7:5 through 27, Ezekiel 16:32, Matthew 5:27 through 28, John 8:3-11, James 4:4, Revelations 2:22, Surah 17:32, 24, 2, 24, 3, 4:15, 10 evil acts for speech. You see speech? You see? Boaster, demonic. That's what they were doing outside, right? Covets against others through assuming justice. They be acting like they're about to bring justice. Like a Batman. Justice is here, type shit. That's actually so funny. Hysterically competes with justice. See what I'm saying? Proverbs 27 to James 4:16. Yeah, they wanted to act like they were in Batman energy, but then they wanted to put the danger of what Batman was putting himself in on other people, but they didn't want to be in the danger that Batman was putting himself in. They wanted to act as if that they were resulting in some sort of funds or victory in a situation, as if that they were big and bad in a situation. But if the bitch gets her throat slit all of a sudden, then she's dead, like everybody else. Like, I don't understand why it's so fucking like, what the fuck is the issue? If the bitch gets shot, all of a sudden it's like, like she's just human like everybody else. Like if the United States of America gets fucking nuked, all of a sudden everybody else is just human, huh? But when they were going around acting like there was some sort of supervillain, like what the fuck was that for? So pressure for adapting to cyclical demand, like I said, they couldn't. And they wanted to act like they're not the domestic terrorists, right? But they're going around committing to acts of domestic terrorism. Is that not so? Let's look it up. Domestic terrorism generally means the use of violence, threats, or intimidations by individuals or groups within their own country to further political, ideological, religious, racial, social objectives. Unlike international terrorism, which involves foreign influence or cross-border action, domestic terrorism happens inside a nation borders and is carried out by people who are citizens, residents, or groups of that same nation. In the U.S., for example, the FBI defines domestic terrorism as acts dangerous to human life that violate federal or state law, intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population, influence government policy, or affect government conduct, and occurring primarily within U.S. jurisdiction. Non-violent threats or property damage, months to a few years. Failed or foiled violent plot, 2 to 8+ years. Violent attacks resulting in injuries, 8 to 10 years. fatal or mass casualty attacks up to decades, including life imprisonment, using weapons of mass destruction up to life or death penalty. Threatening a synagogue, which I am a part of, 10-year sentence for a hate crime terrorism offense. Vandalism with extremist motifs, potential sentences up to 20 years, depending on arson, firearms, interstate property destruction charges. So, I mean, what else? What else? They want to keep playing games? We're just turning the 2 to 8 years into a life sentence. And here it is why. Consolidating market. Isn't that what I talked about when I talked about being a like militia, military, all that jazz, the market of the government? Yeah. Yup. That's what they didn't want. That's what they wanted to destroy. The government market. Which would allow for balance. That's the whole point, is to bring balance, right? So pressure for combining resources to form larger entities, and now it's being risen. So merging fairly and trusted authority, which would be the merit. So remember in the other reading, I was talking about how they didn't want to allow for, corruption to be removed. Like they wanted to act like they weren't corrupt, or they weren't trying to corrupt more individuals, as if that they weren't trying to commit domestic terrorism and stuff like that, right? They didn't want people to report it or anything like that to be reported. And like they wanted to act as if like that was normal, that was okay, or some shit like that. Right. They were trying to disrupt consolidating market. Let's look this up. Don't forget that it includes cross-border, since I am a multiple citizen. So civilian federal employees as of early 2025 comprised just over 3 million people, accounting for 1.9% of the U.S. civilian workforce. That includes approximately 600,000 U.S. Postal Service employees who are technically federal and operate semi-autonomous agency, including Postal Service employees, including federal civilian employees, falling around 2.40 million. Active duty military personnel, 1.3 million active duty service members. Okay? So we have federal employees, 3.0 million, federal civilian employees, 2.36 million, active duty military personnel, 1.3 million, total federal workforce, 4.3 million individuals. They wanted to disrupt the market for 4.3 million individuals. They thought that they had the authority to disrupt the market for a total of 4.3 million people. All because of what? Because they think that they're fucking smart? They think they're so fucking smart, huh? They think they got the authority to now lay off 4.3 million individuals. So they thought a group of them, 5, 10 of them type shit would be enough. Right? So you got how many? The state and local government employees push overall government employment into 20 to 25 million range. They thought that was the market they could fuck with. Right? Now let's add where I'm from too, since it's cross-border as well. So you have an approximation of so we have a total approximation from where I'm at and where I'm from of about 101 to 109 million people. They thought 109 million people were just gonna let it slide. Because who the fuck are they? Low life, undereducated, lazy, whatever the fuck they are. No name, unlisted, disgrace. They thought they would overturn 109 million government and plus people. So yeah, I'm pretty calm. Like I didn't before. I don't know who the fuck they thought they were playing games with, but they definitely didn't think about 109 million people. Anchor dropper persona weighs others down with obligation or guilt. Whatever false ass, no, it's not false. Whatever obligation they refuse to take of their life, they were trying to use against people. They were trying to weaponize it. Whatever guilt they are actually guilty about, they wanted to make other people like fucking reflect on it or some shit. They wanted other people to reflect on the guilt, why they're guilty. I don't really understand how fucking idiotic you could possibly be in order to actually sit there and think that other people have to now reflect on your guilt. Like, a bitch will be guilty for some bullshit no one gives a fuck about. And for some reason, now we gotta reflect on it, transmute it. Fuck no. I don't know who the fuck they thought they were playing with. They wanted to be ruthless. They wanted to be insatiable, unholy, stupid. See how it's stupid? You see how stupidity is a sin? Project self-immorality as intent for perjury. Now they want to make all the government system on all 109 million people as immorally disingenuous as they are. Make it make fucking sense, bruh. 109 million people being just as corrupt as they are, that's not even realistic, bruh. That's not even optimistic. That's not even ambition. That's straight up delusional. So you really think they really think that 109 million people really sit there and are just as stupid as they are? People who passed them in school, people they were bullying. that they were like, haha, you nerd, pushing them down the stairs and shit? They think that those people are just as stupid. I thought that you understood that they were smarter than you. I thought that they understood. That's why they were busy bullying them. They wanted to be insatiable. It was never enough. It was never gonna be enough. Now look at their dumbass. Yeah, defrauder, committing fraud left and right. Oh, I didn't know if that you put the money into the ATM like this and that it was a felony. What a fucking idiot, bruh. What a fucking idiot. Bows to evil and dies with it. A hell seeker. Actually, you know why it's called a hell seeker? Because it's like no matter what they do, bruh, no matter what they do, they always seem to be looking for problems from hell. Like they always trying to find problems to go to hell with. Like they just can't help it or some shit. They just need to go to hell. Like they just need it. Like I don't understand who the fuck is telling them that there's validation in hell. Some shit like this. But I don't know. I just don't fucking know who the fuck is lying to them to make them believe that there's some sort of like equity that they can get from hell. Like I don't understand who's lying to them. Like they always trying to find problems, always trying to cause drama. Like you can tell they haven't had enough problems in their life. Like you can tell. They haven't had enough. They haven't struggled enough. They didn't work that hard. Everything that they got, like these are the types of motherfuckers that'll be looking at other people like shit just falls onto our lap. When the reality of the situation is that they've been trying to force everything to fall onto their lap. They'll be like, oh, she only got that and that because she's pretty. That's why you ugly as hell, bruh. Always needing some shit to fall directly into your lap. Like, you always think that shit is pretty privileged. Like, hell nah. Hell nah. That shit is so irritating. Motherfuckers out here working hard. They looking hella stupid. I don't understand. That's why they get unemployment checks and shit. That's why they get disability checks and shit. I thought that was understood. Who the fuck do you think put those provisions there for you? Who the fuck do you think worked hard to make that fucking money for you so you could eat up EBT? It was me, bitch. I pay taxes. I'm the one. Now they want to go around acting like shit just fall onto our lap. That's crazy. Switchblade persona turns friendly to hostile instantly when opportunity arises. So they'll watch how people are getting opportunity to succeed out of their hard work and motherfucking dedication. Shit that they put in years of service and work into. Years of blood, sweat, and tears into. Then they want to act like, oh shit, now we gotta be hostile. Because a motherfucker is going somewhere. They're getting out of the hood. We gotta be hostile. With their dumbasses. Always talking over people. Never listening because they're insatiable as hell. It's never enough. A bitch could explode. Because of how fucking greedy their dumbasses are. Pressured for distributing goods outside of official channels. Gray market. There it is. Pressure for distributing goods outside of official channels. You see? They wanted to cause pressure. They wanted to beat pressure. They wanted people to compete with them on how much they could take advantage by fraud of a specific position, of a specific job channel, anything. Any kind of opportunity, anything that they are in, anything they wanted to people to compete with them. They the biggest and the baddest. They the worst of them all. You see? On some hell-seeking shit. Always looking for the worst of the worst type shit. It's repulsive. It's not to mention how boring that shit really is. They wanted to act like they earned some sort of expanded reach. Like some people should be reaching out to them for advice. Type shit. Wanting to act like there's some good like channel for some shit. Like we need them. Remember, I just talked about this. I literally just talked about this. Where motherfuckers will look at me in the face, right? Because navigate ethically. But they want people to project their own ethical navigation of life, right? To them like a golden mirror. If I'm doing it right, so can you, right? If I'm an ethical person, you have to be, right? Hell nah. Something you have to earn. There's history books written about how shitty the territory really is. Motherfuckers trying to act like it's brand new. People ain't know. Yeah, this is what it is that they wanted to steal from people. They wanted to steal from people pressure for high-risk opportunity assessment. They didn't want people to be able to assess what was truly high risk, but, you know, good high risk, high reward opportunities. They didn't want people to assess truly what it means to overcome high risk, you know, high reward situations and scenarios. Trying to act like people don't have any idea when people are putting thank you. I just broke this huge ass motherfucking off my family. So like my mom like is a huge gambler, right? She lost millions of dollars gambling, right? And like the people that she dated, they lost millions of dollars gambling too, type shit, right? And my father was a different kind of gambler. He was a gambler when it came to relationships. It was huge, like it was really bad. So obviously I inherited that fucking dumbass curse. So I was obviously able to break it. This is one of those moments and opportunities where it's like, you got to really know when you're supposed to leave a situation, right? Like high risk, high reward type situation, right? But it's very gray market. You see what I'm saying? It's very gray market in a situation. That's why it's real. Resourcefulness and gambling. I was always allowing myself to understand caution. Why? Because I'm autistic. I'm fucking autistic. I wasn't able to tell a saint from a pedophile. When I was a kid, I wasn't able to tell. To me, it was all the same. I would literally look a demon in the face and be like, I don't know, are you an angel or I don't know what you are, right? So motherfuckers will really take advantage of me. They really would. And I wouldn't have any idea how to protect myself because nobody else was being as cautious as I could have been because motherfuckers was gambling. So grounding decisions in truth, you see, I always knew that something was off. The way that I found out that I'm autistic is by doing research on the genetic components of my family. That's how I found out I was autistic because my little cousin has heavy Down syndrome. So it runs in our blood. So there's stability here, a lot of stability. Why? Because caution had been provided and taken accurately. So all that bullshit, all those tests that I was going through that God put me through, yeah. Now all those people who thought it was funny in games to take advantage of me since 2000, it's all going back to sender. All of it one by one. Speculative market, gray market. Results achieved, overcome. It's time for something new. It's over. You see how the barriers, you see how it got released? How the blockages got released, removed? Yeah. Bestialis sodomite, yeah. Out. Firekeeper persona maintains illusion of group unity while serving its own goals, bro. You should You don't even know, bro. You don't even fucking know what I've been through. Okay? Float between groups, gathering scraps, influence. Okay? Yeah. So it's going back to sender. A lot of this shit. Oh my gosh, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, I don't think you understand. I'm 25 now, bro. I've been waiting my whole life to be free from it, bro. I know autism has a cure. I know Down syndrome and retardation has a cure. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that these idiots get to be stupid. And for us, it's a mental disorder. It's not struggling. Man, thank God I had a 3.0. Man, thank God I had a 3.84 GPA. Thank God that my IQ was so high. I proved it's a mental disorder, not a stupidity. God put it on us as a challenge. I proved it. Fair. It's not fair. They live glorious ass fucking lives while my people are suffering, being abused, neglected, thrown onto the streets because we're on the fucking spectrum. Mind you, body dysmorphia, body dysphoria is also on that same fucking spectrum. Do you know how I was ostracized for being a part of the LGBTQ plus community? As an African, as a Russian, I couldn't even fucking speak. I couldn't even explain to people what fucking demisexual is, and it's still not fucking recognized. Just for assholes to fucking discriminate against me, to discriminate against my gender, to discriminate against my sexual orientation in this fucking building. And they think they're gonna get away with it. They don't know the half of what the fuck I've been through. But inshallah, God is the Almighty. He is the most merciful. He is the most righteous. He is the giver of goodness, of honor, of respect. And astaghfirullah, all these demonic presences will be decimated for all of eternity. Amen. 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 Fucking prostitutes. That's what the fuck they are. It's not even fucking illegal in California, but still, they try to hide it. Then they want to blackmail people. They want to blackmail people to really making it seem like it's other people's guilt that drove them to be a prostitute. When you see me, a human trafficking victim, survivor, a human trafficking survivor who really isn't a prostitute, who ran from prostitution. So I don't need a single fucking excuse. Abuse of reproductive organs for cash. Whether it be to cut it out of bodies, whether it be trying to buy and sell it on other people, pimping people out on a mental, spiritual, physiological, psychological level, emotional level. Price's reproductive structure. Deuteronomy 23:17 through 18. 1 Corinthians 6:15 through 16. Surah 24:33. 10 evil acts, third body evil. For example, it's like them saying that I'm only worth a certain amount of that. That as if that I have to now sell sex to people on an emotional level, and that they're gossiping about how much it's worth. That's them prostituting themselves and trying to project that shit onto me. It's a back to sender because they wouldn't even recognize the worth of their own fucking vessel. Whereas I recognize the flesh of Christ as the bread of life. And they wouldn't even understand that. Yeah, because they're a liar, which is a commandment broken. They don't know how to tell the truth because they've never told the truth in their fucking lives. They are incapable of telling the fucking truth. Everything that comes out of their fucking dirty ass, fucking bug-ridden, gnat-ridden, fly-ridden, demonically ridden mouth that has to be fucking cleaned is lies. Obsessed over destruction of others. Denies reality beyond relief. So whereas where I'm receiving relief in a situation, I'm thanking God of the situation. I'm releasing myself of a situation. I'm breaking through. They're acting like it's not real. Why? Because they're the ones in denial. Yeah, they can't be in an underground false market. That's what it is. They couldn't manifest a false ass underground market. We already understand what the fuck that is. Unmerciful in reverse. Curtain whisperer persona. We already saw that. See, covenant threat. As a child, they never listened to their parents. They never cared about their parents' well-being. You will never hear them talk good about their parents. You will never hear them talk wise about their brothers and sisters. You will never hear them love on any one of their family members. They've always gone against their parents out of ego, lust, trying to control how their parents move in the household. We know them badass motherfucking kids with no motherfucking discipline. That's how the fuck they grow up. Trying to commit fraud and all that shit. Lying. Acting like that's survival. They could have had the heights of greatness. It's a privilege to be born into this country. And they wasted it. And now they don't want to agree. Truth filler persona. Releases facts in a way that serves personal narrative. They want to have control over all the facts, but the facts are wasted on them. Directly holding others accountable for one's own actions without being seen as responsible. They don't want to be seen as responsible. So they want to hold other people accountable. You know when that meme of when the dog farts and then he's looking at the camera like it was your fault? That's the type of shit. Pointing fingers at people so that they don't have to take the blame. When no one was even putting blame on them. They expected it. Curtain whisperer persona. Yeah, we already said this one, right? Yeah. Advises leaders from the shadows, avoiding accountability. Yeah, exactly. You see? Really, it's incestuous. Yeah. Abuses kinship. Let me tell you what kind of people they really are as teenagers. They're the type of people to get jealous of their father and mother's relationship. They're the type to get jealous when their brother or sister has a relationship with someone else, to the point of trying to constrict them into a relationship, to the point of sometimes even sexual relationship with their own blood, direct blood, brother, sister, mother, father energy. They're the type of person or people, and don't let me fucking start because there are so many fucking movies about this too. This is also on some, this is like when you think it's Oedipus complex or a lecture complex, but the reality of the situation is like, yeah, that they're trying to uphold standards of relationships that they feel like they wouldn't have outside of their family. You get me? They feel like they can't have that relationship with anyone else. They get jealous of it. I shit you not. They get mad when, and this is not only, like I said, it devolves into a sexual relationship, but sometimes it's about fundamental respect. They feel like they should be respected as an adult when they're a child, to the point of seducing the teachers, to the point of seducing the police officers, to the point of causing all sorts of crazy ass behaviors. That's why it's a covenant threat. They'll be so mad that somebody else in their close relative family is receiving some sort of jurisdiction, account, responsibility, obligation, something, anything that they deem they're not getting, and all of a sudden they're causing issues in the family, trying to break shit apart, trying to cause issues, trying to use seduction. Yeah, there it is, idolater. And that's why. Or should I say, that's the demonic essence of how it occurred. Trying to replace true source. It's like when my grandmother was the matriarch of the family, and then it skipped my mom and went directly to me. Then my cousin got mad and got hooked on drugs. Like, she thought that, I don't know what the fuck it was that she thought, honestly. But that's another thing. Oh, that's what it is. She wanted me to, I idolized access, or she idolized access to medicinal, you know what I mean? When that was what was occurring in my family. But I never abused medicine like that. That was actually something my mom did, which is why it skipped her. Which is why my cousin was always more like my mom. You know what I mean? In reference, comparison was more like mom. In fact, I was kind of lost. I was thinking that maybe something happened in the family to where my mom gave birth to my cousin instead, type shit. But obviously that's not what happened. Right? 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 I thought maybe my mom, I shit you not. I thought maybe my mom gave birth to my cousin, stole me from my father to cover up the fact that she was fucking her own brother. But then I thought about it a little bit longer. Like I said, I did research on my family and found out that no, she just really badly wanted to fuck her own brother. So I'm very well aware of how that works. And I can tell because that narcissistic fucking behavior is the same thing that dumbass neighbor has. And multiple of them. They behave the same way. You see, that's the funny part about hell. It's a funnel. Hell is a spiral funnel downwards into disintegration and the abyss of the void. So what happens is that all they get decomposed and digested by the stomach of earth. But there's an experience that comes with that. And as they're getting decomposed by the stomach of earth, they start to deteriorate. But the process doesn't begin in death. It had already begun as soon as their judgment was failed. As in that they failed to pass judgment. So, merit loss. You see how the merit loss is there? So what is that merit loss, right? Exodus 23:5, Deuteronomy 5:7-9, Isaiah 44:9 through 20, Jeremiah 10:3-5, Psalm 11:4 through 5, 1 Corinthians 10:14, 1 John 5:21. Also, that's why I was born the only child. Romans 1:23-25, Surah 4:36, 6:151, 31:13, Manusmriti 12:95, 10 evil acts, 3 of mind. So the merit loss that they're losing is recognition. People can barely recognize them anymore. Yeah, because they're never going to emerge. They're not in the immersion market. It's rejecting them. Yeah, because they don't have initiative for shit. Yeah. They're not a pioneer. And this is a country of pioneers. Right? This is the United States of Americas, right? USA, USA, the country of pioneers, right? And they're not the pioneers. They're actually domestic terrorists acting against pioneers, right? And there's proof of it. So, what am I doing, collective? What are you doing, collective? Are we not utilizing initiative to pioneer in the United States of America? Are we not succeeding in our inheritance of the earth? Are we not contributing to the ethics of kingdom? Now we can truly recognize the ops, those that are truly the enemies, those that stand against kingdom, stand against God, stand against recognition, even devaluing their own recognition to do so on some gone girl shit. So that's what it is that they've been doing. 1 Corinthians 10:14, 1 John 5:21, Romans 1:23-25, Surah 4:36, 6, 151, 31:13, Manusmriti 12:95, 10 evil acts, 3 of mind, idolater. So when it comes to recognition, they destroy their own recognition deliberately in order to cause idolatry. And that's the real corruption. And now that's being dismantled, especially within the court system. Yeah, it's all going back to sender. Design situations where someone will inevitably fail, right? So they make it seem like people are dependent on them being recognizable or unrecognizable or recognizing other people and so on and so forth, only to cause idolatry. And how people were feeling in their presence. Adulterer, adulteress, deceased spouses, wives, and actual homewreckers. Those are the individuals that they were, what you call it, to become homewreckers, so they wouldn't, there it is. Exodus 20:14, Leviticus 20:10, Deuteronomy 22:20. We said these ones, okay? So you can go back and see it, what it is. But basically, James 4:4, Revelations 2:22, right? 2:22 is what it's coming through as. Ghostwriter persona. So speaks through other voices to push their own agenda. So they literally try to use the image of adultery in order to cause people to not be discerning when it comes to recognition, so that they can force people to idolize and commit to idolatry. So that's going back to sender with the net weaver persona back to sender. And this was also that they can force people to be delusional about them, as if that they were receiving some sort of market share. You see what I mean? An expanding market. Remember, expansion was what they were trying to make seem as if that they were doing, as if that they were growing and expanding, right? Really, they were trying to make it seem as if that they had the power to revitalize a situation, right? Isn't that my power? Wait a second. Is that my power? Yeah, that's literally that's my ability. That's literally, yeah, I smashed that shit back. Oh, which is how they were disrupting the pioneer, which has to do with the initiative, which is actually which is gonna come up, but it has to do about market share. So it's about so that's what is manifested. So it's like being able to be involved in the market. So they wanted to act as if they even had access to the market, as if they understood whatever. Some of us go get PhDs of this. Those are the stupid idiots that don't even study it, but they'll act like they're a part of it. While I actually went to university for this. Like, this is actually my job. Like, it's in my job description. They wanted to be a business so fucking bad, but they didn't see this coming. Yeah, look. See, anchor dropper persona. I'm saying they're projecting all of this. They're projecting all of it. Yeah, there it is. Because they wanted to, because they're broke and they wanted to be a part of the informal market. Trust, honor, agreements, and loyalty. You see what I'm saying? So they could cause débaucherie. You see what I'm saying? Projects this position as duty to circumvent true action. There it is. You see? Desiring to be coveted through false positioning. You see what I'm saying now? They wanted to act like they were a part of the market value, as if that they had any value net worth. You see what I'm saying? They wanted to act as if that they had any net worth to begin with, without actually putting themselves in a position of authority to now receive net worth, so that they can then act like they had net worth. But they didn't want to do all that. They didn't want to do, it was too much for them. It's too much work. So instead, they committed to debauchery. Isaiah 5:11-12. Ephesians 5:8. I'll see you guys on our next video. Yeah. Necromancer in reverse is over. See ya. Bye-bye.